I can remember going through the first group of Sojourners as a teacher and learning about it, and you have to do an article. When I wrote my first article for Sojourner, I was learning how to do it, and I wrote mine on infrared technology. I made a lot of mistakes, which I was pretty sure I wasn't a strong writer. I've always been told I'm not a very strong writer, but this is a totally different way of writing than I've ever written before. And I knew from the get-go when I wrote mine that I was a little nervous passing it in to Alan, who was my editor at the time. And when I gave him my article, I got it back the next day, and it was this red monster. It looked like the paper had just bled. And I started freaking out at first, and because I'm used to how normal edits work and how my English teacher did edits for me, where they say, well, Rob, you did a really great job on writing your name right. By the way, you plagiarized this section here. That's how we're taught as teachers to write, and a professional edit does not work that way. It's specifically saying you need to fix this, you need to fix this, this needs to be done here, you should put this 3 paragraphs down, this is not your lead, this is actually a different part. None of it was negative. It was all just matter of fact. You do all this, it'll be better. And I think that's something that I was not used to. So when I actually started looking deeper into what was written there, it really made a difference, because I wasn't just getting some of the fluff stuff and then a little bit of a suggestion. It was very succinct, and it explained what I need to do to make this better. And it brought me back to being in college, pre-med, and going to those biology classes and being ripped apart by your peers when you give a presentation, and realizing that all they really wanted to do was make you better. All the edit really wants to make you is better. And once you look at it from that positive point of view, instead of, oh, this has just torn me apart, it's completely red, suddenly the more red the better, because the more comments they make, the better they want you to be in the end. The more that you can fix, the better you can become in your writing. When my students first got their responses back from a professional editor, I would warn them a little ahead of time, look, this is not what you're used to. There's going to be more comments, and they're not going to be comments, they're going to be more along the lines of specific things you need to fix. And you need to have a tough skin, because he's not saying what you did wrong, he's saying how you can make it right. And I think that's really important. When I gave them that little prep there, they kind of bulked up a little bit and said, look, it'll be okay. And they were all right with it. But they were still offended at first when they saw all these marks and all these comments, because there wasn't anything that was, quote, positive, where hey, you did a great job writing your name. But it was matter of fact, which I think is really important. And after we'd done it once, they really liked that way more, because they're like, I knew exactly what I needed to fix and how I was going to fix it. And I knew that if I did that, I was going to have a much better, stronger article that had a chance of being published. And I had several kids go, why don't my English teachers do this for me? Because all I do is they give me suggestions, and I fix the suggestion, but I'm not sure I'm actually making a stronger paper than I had before. I'm just fixing a couple things in the middle and not really looking at it as a whole.